got to talk about the risk of suicidology. Um, this is statistics that mothers with postpartum PTSD and depression account for 20% of maternal suicides. I got to pause. So you got to think about this statistic because it's if you are incorporating trauma-informed care, what you're doing is really life-saving things, and United States has our country has the worst maternal death statistic in the developing world. I think we also have the worst educational system as well. But those maternal deaths, 20% of those maternal deaths are due to suicide. So if we have people with PTSD in the postpartum period and they have a diagnosis of perinatal depression at any point in the fertility cycle, we need to be like, okay, this is where we need to give life-saving stuff to. This is where we really need to pay attention. This is where the work needs to be done. And we're doing it today. And in a lot of ways, we're doing it today. Um, let's see. Triggers. We got a lot of triggers that we need to see. Um, it's very interesting being a doctor and even just being a social worker. I had a lot of power as a social worker in the medical field. I could, my decision, actually, I remember working in hospitals. Some of the doctors would look to me. They would do social holds. I would say it's not safe for this lady to go home. A lot of the physicians, but particularly in trauma and ER, they were coming in with domestic violence and had children with them, and all of these things were happening. Even those who were pregnant, they would look to me and I would be like, let's not send them home yet. We would just how you are able to join with them and be able to connect with them. You can do a social hold and keep them in the hospital where they can be safe until I could figure out maybe the next day and hear back from people and work with domestic violence shelters. All of these things we had to do in the hospital where we worked collaboratively with the physicians and everything to try to make sure that people were going home to a place that's safe. That power dynamic and just being able to join with a lot of these trauma survivors that would come in, that was just really, really remarkable because in trauma and ER, you're seeing people at their worst. And I just felt like it was like, wow,